Thank you. I remember that period because the conceptualization and design of the event had a time context. If you recall, in 2007, the UN General Assembly had passed a resolution declaring 2nd October, the birth anniversary of the Mahatma, as International Day of Non-Violence. So this was 2007. Also, 50 years earlier, Martin Luther King Jr. had visited India. So 2009 was the 140th birth anniversary of the Mahatma, and it was also the 50th year celebration of Martin Luther King Jr.'s visit to India. So I recall clearly that when we started planning for the event, the South African ambassador, the US PR, Susan Rice, and we had an initial discussion. And the UN very aptly, I think, very appropriate for the event, 2 years after the declaration of the International Day of Non-Violence, decided to bring out a stamp. Now, the event in terms of time context had significance, but more than that, I think the release of that UN stamp also, in a sense, captured the wide resonance that the Mahatma's message had for the work of the UN. Let me try and contextualize this a bit. What is well known is the fact that the UN itself was conceived during a 3-month period whilst the Second World War was still raging. So the apostle of non-violence, Ahimsa, a stamp in his honor when the UN was going through a difficult time, I would say, in many, many respects. That resonates in the first pillar, peace and security. But you will also recall that that was the period around which we were finishing the work on the Millennium Development Goals. And that's when we were starting the work on the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, if you look at the message of the Mahatma, quite apart from the work he did in South Africa, and my friend, the South African ambassador, used to often tell me that, you sent us an English-educated lawyer, somebody educated at University College London, called to the bar in a temple. But he developed a philosophy, a program of action for the independence of nations. So when he was dealing with racial discrimination and apartheid, in many ways that previsioned the human rights agenda. So that is one. But in 2009, something very different, something very interesting was happening. When you were finishing the MDGs and beginning to start conceptualizing the Sustainable Development Goals, very different from the MDGs where, work was done in a think tank, OECD, brought in from the top. The SDGs was grassroots level, bottoms up. And I can tell you that the SDGs basic philosophy, to the farthest first, actually captures the Mahatma's essential core of his teachings. That is, from Sarvodaya to Antyodaya, that is, again, to reach out to the poorest of the poor. So, when we look at that period, if I were to write a history of the period, I would say that after its establishment, its coming into being during the period of the Second World War, it had a great record in terms of peacekeeping. As far as India is concerned, I think we participated in something like 41 out of the 70 major peacekeeping exercises, where our engineers, our doctors, Then sometime around 2009, I don't remember the exact year, maybe in 2007 or 8, we sent the first FPU, all women police force, and I remember visiting them in Liberia, if my memory serves me right. So you have several things related where Mahatma Gandhi actually, both in terms of the human rights agenda, in terms of the peace and security first pillar, and then the development pillar which was coming in. So, and the artist himself, I don't know if you are aware of this, he was Muhammad Ali's physician. But with deep knowledge of medical science and dealing with the human condition, he painted the picture of the Mahatma in very striking colors. So I remember the event. I think it was one of my moments which one will cherish for a long time. Susan Rice spoke at the event. Others spoke at the event. I just made some jottings from what was said then. And I think Susan Rice said Gandhi had influenced millions of Americans. Gandhi believed that physical force could be turned aside by moral force. Now, a message like that has a relevance not only when Gandhiji implemented his work, when Martin Luther King visited India Junior in 1959, but even now, to this date. And what Martin Luther King said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. So I think the message which the stamp gave, one is an event, Let's face it, UN, there is a lot of activity, a lot of events take place. We remember some because they capture and they have the genius of capturing the flavor, the occupation, they capture the mood. I think that 2009 event was one of those. And I'm so happy that the SDGs were negotiated. Mahatma Gandhi was a great advocate of women's empowerment. I'm very happy that a few years later, as a vice president of the Assembly, I was called upon to complete the final round of negotiation for the establishment of UN Women. And I was presiding over that process. And we produced a new entity which today is, a very significant part of the UN's system and functioning. I think as we go forward, and then came the SDGs and the 2030 agenda. And as we are implementing the SDGs, there are so many in which the Mahatma's, I wouldn't say footprint, but he captures what needed to be done. Let me recall for you one of the flagship programs that my ministry is currently implementing. The Prime Minister said, speaking from the ramparts of the Red Fort on 15th August 2014, he had just been elected in May. He said that the most befitting tribute we can pay the Mahatma when we celebrate the 150th birth anniversary would be to declare India open defecation free. I know some of my friends said, is this a message which should come from the Prime Minister? Let me tell you, we have 5 major flagship programs implemented or anchored in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. I think this is the most important. And today when India is 99.9% open defecation free, I'm still not declaring it 100% because West Bengal, one state in India, has still got some reporting to do. And because of the COVID pandemic, we haven't been able to complete that paperwork. But Mahatma Gandhi's influence is everywhere. And I think that stamp by the UN meant that the UN was acknowledging the role of this great man.